Good morning on day 5 from Puente la Reina. Today, I'm heading to Ázqueta, but I don't know that yet because the original plan was to stay in Ayegui. But first, let's cross this magnificent bridge. And you know what? At this point is where two routes of El Camino actually meet. They both come from France, but they start at different points. And this bridge is one of the highlights of the trip. I mean, just look at the construction of this thing. This is just something else. So this morning I tried something different. Instead of waking up at the usual 6 a.m. like I've done for the last few days, I decided to wake up at 7, let the majority of the people leave, so I had the Camino for myself. I also wanted to film Puente Reina, get a couple of shots there, and had breakfast. The usual coffee with milk, toast, but this time I added orange juice. All that for €4. Leaving Puente de Reina behind takes me out into the open road. Gets a little bit steep at some points, but of course nothing compared to the days before. And just when I least expected, having problems again with the microphone. It's probably the battery. I'm gonna change it, see if I can get one in this town. After an hour of walking, made it to Añeru. Let's see if I can find a supermarket and get a battery. If not, I'm gonna have to switch to the onboard mic on this camera, which is not ideal, but it is better than nothing. Leaving town, no luck finding a battery. All the businesses were closed. There were barely any people on the street. It was mostly pilgrims. But it is a Saturday, 9:30 in the morning. And Spaniards, they are famous for waking up late, taking siestas, and having dinner at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night. Far in the distance over the open fields of wheatgrass, I spot the town of Cirauqui. This whole area is filled with vineyards. Although it is early in the season, you still get to walk through the vines and the trees. The municipal cemetery welcomes us to the town of Cirauqui, a town which is in decline. Over the last 10 years, more than half of its population has left to the big cities. A trend that is on the rise in all the towns in Spain, which is unfortunately because, look at this place. All the history that it hides in every corner, in every doorknob, in every street. I had no luck finding the battery that I needed at the supermarket, so I'm gonna go ahead and look for the next town and see if I have more luck over there. Bye, Ayegui. Thanks for nothing. You're awesome. But now I only have 5.3 kilometers to Lorca. Let's go. The dusty path takes us under the Ayoso Canal and over the Rio Salado Bridge, a medieval bridge built between the 12th and 13th centuries by the Roman Empire. It underwent extensive restorations to bring it back to its old appearance. The bridge is mentioned in the medieval pilgrim's book, Codex Calixtinus. The author gives us a stern warning not to drink from its salty waters, as it could be deadly for both horses and pilgrims alike. What better place to dip your feet in the cold water and reapply sunscreen? Most pilgrims decide to take their lunch break here. Me, on the other hand, I'm gonna wait until the next town. Wow, I just had my first scare. I was flying the drone, and without realizing it, I backed into those trees over there. I thought I had lost it, but then I heard that the motors were still going, so I backed it up, and the drone just slowly came back out. It was a freaking miracle. So I took the legs off my pants, and now I got shorts. Finally made it to town. Now let's get something to eat and maybe find a battery. As I walk through the charming streets of this town, I find a couple of kids selling pins, necklaces and stuff just outside their home. I also find a water fountain
and I decide to refill my camelback. But then I realized that the water is not drinkable, so I ended up emptying it back into the water fountain. La Bodega del Camino is a great place to make a quick stop and have something to eat. I went for the paella instead of the sandwich because, to be honest, I've had too much bread on this trip, and it was delicious. And instead of having beer, I went with orange juice. I'm so proud of myself. And guess what? I also found a battery. So the mic is back in action. Thank you guys. The plains between Lorca and Villatuerta were a pleasant surprise, with endless fields of wheatgrass and the yellow flowers. La Cruz de Maurien overlooked the plains at an altitude of 700 meters, a sight that I could only see thanks to my drone. Just made it to Villatuerta, but this is more of a modern town, not the kind that I'm used to seeing along the way. 2 more and I get to my final destination for today. I took this opportunity to refill my camelback with some fresh water from a weird clown and got my first stamp at a church. By now, the town of Estella is only 2.4 kilometers away. I follow the yellow arrows through water canals to the Ayegui River, a river which leads me to town, but not before passing through the all too familiar industrial sites complex that are always outside of the big cities. The Iglesia Parroquial del Santo Sepulcro welcomes me to town. So I made it to Estella Lizarra, but this is not my final destination. I still got another town to go, and my feet are killing me. Hopefully, it is less than an hour away. I think those ducks were having sex. Following my guidebook's advice, I go on to the next town, to the municipal albergue at Ayegui, but not before passing the first 100-kilometer marker. But guess what? The place was closed. Now I find myself in the position to have to walk on to the next town, something that I hadn't planned for, and now it's late in the afternoon. The next albergue is 2 hours going forward in the Camino, or I could turn around and go back for half an hour and find one, but I don't see myself going back, especially on a trip this long. It's almost 4 o'clock. The sun here doesn't set until after 8, and there's still light until 9 o'clock, so I think I have plenty of time to make it to the next town, and then tomorrow I'll have a shorter day. It's not every day that you find a fountain that gives you free wine, but if you have the stamina, you could get some right there. Oh, you look at that. Salud. So my phone's battery was dying. It was down to 17%, but thanks to the DJI battery from the drone and the hookup cable that it comes with, I was able to charge it up to 50%, giving me a little bit of peace of mind, especially now that I need the phone in case it gets dark and I need to find a place around. Oh man, this is not good news. There are dogs in the area and I'm all alone. Wait, what's this? Oh, this is pretty cool. It's like the biggest conga line I've ever seen. All right, so I'm out of the woods, away from those vicious dogs. I was thinking of using my tripod in case they attack me. You know, use it to like club them to death. Yeah, right. It looks like I'm almost there. Hopefully they have an albergue and room for me. If not, on to the next town. Stella! Welcome to Ázqueta. Let the search for an albergue begin. Well, the bar is closed. That's not good news. So I found a place to stay. It has this new age groove kind of thing. It's a little expensive, but it has all the things that I need: a shower, place to put my booth, a meal, breakfast included, and best of all, no bunk beds. I got my own bed all to myself. That's a plus. So I just had the best dinner with 7 other pilgrims. 2 Spaniards, 2 Germans, 1 English, and 2 Italians. It was great, but I think I'm gonna call it a night and head in. Super tired from today. Tomorrow should be a shorter day.